Hello, my friend Aubrey. We are here in episode 2 of our new YouTube series.
Yes, exactly. We're talking about part 2 today, you guys. So if you missed part 1, definitely go back and look at the first video of this series to hear my part 1 answers. And it's very much like what's going to happen on test day, especially if you haven't taken IELTS before. It's going to give you a great idea of how many questions you're going to get, the timing of it, and then be sure to stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe so that you get the scores in part 4 of this series.
Exactly. So the last sample answer series we did was very popular, and we asked you guys, our subscribers here on YouTube, what you want in the next series, and you wanted more sample answers. So that's what we're giving you guys, but we're structuring it a bit differently, like Aubrey said. So episode 1, part 1, episode 2, part 2, episode 3, part 3. And then in episode 4, guys, we're going to give you detailed insight into scores that we would give each other as if this were a real exam. So Aubrey did the part 1 answers. So I'm going to take over here and give a part 2 answer.
Yes, you guys likely know that part 2, you're going to be describing something. So I'm going to have Jessica give a full 2-minute part 2 answer. You're going to hear, speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Keep in mind, you need to speak for 2 minutes to show your fluency. Always, always. And to be able to fit in linking words, vocab, everything you need. So listen in to Jessica's answer and then stay tuned in a couple episodes for the feedback.
All right, Jessica, it's good.
Ready?
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so this is what you would hear, guys. Now, in this part, I'm going to give you a topic and you must talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. You will have 1 minute to take notes and think about what you're going to say. Do you understand?
Yes.
P.S. We're not going to give Jessica that minute, so you guys don't have to just wait for her to take notes.
That would be so funny. It's just silent for a minute while I write. We're not doing that.
You guys will get it, and be sure to take that whole minute to take notes, think about what you're going to say. Don't start early. The examiner will say, describe a time when you gave someone advice, and then you'd have a minute to think about, and then they're going to stop you after that minute and say, all right, remember you have 1 to 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you. I'll tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
So I had a little bit of difficulty, to be quite honest, when I was trying to come up with a situation to describe in this case, because I have recently been giving a lot of very personal advice to my son about some difficulties that are happening for him. It's tough. Like, he's almost going to be a teenager soon. He's only 10, but growing up is so difficult. And I really don't want to share his secrets with everyone. So instead of talking about that, I am going to talk about some advice I gave my wonderful colleague, Aubrey. And this was all advice based on my own personal failures and successes. And I think that's probably the best advice you could give people, is if you've already done it yourself and you know where they're at and how to leave that difficult place, that place of struggle. So I had already been working in my current position at All Ears English for a few years before my lovely, delightful, wonderful, beautiful colleague Aubrey came on board. And I saw her go through something that I had already experienced. And this is typical for our personality types. We are both achievers. So we are both very hard workers. We love to be productive. And especially when we feel pride in what we're doing and we feel good at what we're doing, we want to do more of that. And we want to accomplish as much as possible, which of course is fantastic for our success in work and life, but it is not fantastic for our mental well-being. And I saw Aubrey experience some of this overwhelm and approach a place of burnout. And when that happens, especially in a job like this, where you have to have all of your mental faculties available to be creative, to be energetic, if you are burned out, you cannot do a good job. And you can't be happy. And that's the priority.
Thank you.
Oh, gosh darn it. I didn't even get to the advice.
What advice did you end up giving her?
To separate our work hours from the rest of our life hours.
There you go. Now you guys will be asked one follow-up question at the end. And that is a good one, right? That would just be like, well, what advice did you end up giving?
So, okay, let's quickly talk about this because we're gonna give detailed scores in the last episode, in episode 4, guys. But I do want to make a sidebar here and just remind you guys that you don't have to talk about everything on that part 2 card. The examiner doesn't care about the bullet points. You just have to show fluency for 2 minutes. So even though I gave like tons of context, it was still all about the topic. Describe a time you gave advice. I was talking about that situation the whole time. So even though I didn't get to the actual advice, I was still fluent for 2 minutes, which is all that matters.
Nice. Good point. I was going to say, I'm wondering if we're going to wait and bring that up at the last one, but that's really good. I'm glad you pointed that out because I could imagine students wondering that, and we won't make you wait until the last episode to know that.
I want to avoid the comments like, but you didn't talk about the advice. Right? So that's why I'm telling you guys, it's great. But do stay tuned, guys. Hit subscribe so you don't miss part 3 and the scoring video. Hit like on this video because I'm pretty proud of that answer. I think it was cool and great and awesome. Yes. And do stay tuned for the next one, guys. Oh, and go to allearsenglish.com/IELTS quiz. Aubrey, what is at that link?
Yes, you'll take a free 2-minute quiz very fast, and you'll find out what you would score if you took the IELTS exam today. So it'll help you know if you are ready. It'll give you a better idea of what resources to be using. And we actually provide free resources at your level. So check it out, allearsenglish.com/IELTS quiz.
Awesome. All right, Aubrey, I'll see you next time.
Awesome. Bye. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bonus tip, get a 7 or higher with the All Ears English app featuring real-time transcripts and vocabulary practice that will push your score higher. Plus, fun video lessons with Lindsay, Michelle, and Jessica. Download the app today at allearsenglish.com/app.